It's getting crazy out here, y'all. Stay focused. Let's go, KD. Take a look around you, look to find your way, babe. Yeah, take a look around you, look to find your way, babe. Yeah, I ain't talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change the way. Got things to do, I done pay my dues. But where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Hey, you the one that say that. You and me go way back. When this whole thing over, I'ma send my invoice payday. You don't wanna say that. You don't want this payback. I keep my composure, this my kingdom, nigga, stay back. We had a couple of moments. You had a choice, nigga, on it. Your real colors, they showing. I'm real, nigga, I'm focused. When I come around, I'm fly with it. Stay moving, Dubai with it. New sound, just vibe with it. Same truth and we die with it. I see it like it's an optical. I never sit on the fence. Nothing to me is impossible. Music of me to the end. Most of the shit is illogical. All of y'all niggas depend on what they pretend. Just think with your head, stop looking at trends. You wearing your heart like it's topical. Clearly now, the pain is gone, the fame is on, and they play my songs. Yeah, it's real. Yeah, it's real. Yeah, I ain't talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change the way. Got things to do, I done pay my dues. But where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. New era, I got y'all. Real gang, we pop off, no knockoffs. Open eyes, we watch out. Mobilize, won't cop out. COVID-19 cops out, don't flop now. Open skies, we fly now. New agenda, they try now. Most y'all getting real scared of the headlines when you find out. End game getting real near. If you don't know, you behind now. Behind the times, government hide behind the lines. Most brands trying to monetize. All of us have to stay inside, don't socialize. Yeah, talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change the way. Got things to do, I done pay my dues. But where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe.
We at the top, if I see it, I cop it. All this guap, if I see it, I cop it. Got some new drip, if I see it, I cop it. Saw that new whip, if I see it, I cop it. Need a new grip, if I see it, I cop it. Lots of strip, if I see it, I cop it. I'm that kid, if I see it, I cop it. House off the grid, if I see it, I cop it. We at the top, if I see it, I cop it. All of this guap, if I see it, I cop it. Got some new drip, if I see it, I cop it. Saw that new whip, if I see it, I cop it. Need a new grip, if I see it, I cop it. Lots of strip, if I see it, I cop it. I'm that kid, if I see it, I cop it. House off the grid, if I see it, I cop it.
Yeah, if I see it, I cop it. Running through stores, if I see it, I rock it. Yeah, girl, if you see it, I got it. Run it up more, we need all the profit. 100 racks back up in summer 16. Spent that whole bag on a whole summer dream. Life's complicated, no Avril Lavigne. Copped a new condo to blow us some steam. All these rappers just rapping in triplets. Pushing that product, just got a new shipment. Pushing that roll 50 over the limit. Cushion that blow, I don't get why they with it. We at the top and we throwing the game. All of these peasants will know of my name. All of these blessings, we staying the same. The drip is fluorescent, I'm going insane. Royal genetics all up in my veins. Back me a real one and gave her my name. All of these issues, but no one to blame. Praying that God will just show me the way. Changing the game, got the source code, and I'm off-road and my horses go skirt. One in the same day, of course, no, we in first, yo, all my niggas, we were. Fake in the fame, but we all know, cause the source told all you niggas just learn. Talking and saying y'all pseudo, and it's true though, y'all just popping them perks. Taking the stage, got a few shows, let the crew know it's a class in the dirt. I am the king and it's my throne, y'all are kind though, they keep calling me Zerx.
Be at the top if I see it, I cop it. All this guap if I see it, I cop it. Got some new drip if I see it, I cop it. Saw that new whip if I see it, I cop it. Need a new grip if I see it, I cop it. Lots of shrimp if I see it, I cop it. I'm that kid if I see it, I cop it. House off the grid if I see it, I cop it. We at the top if I see it, I cop it. All of this guap if I see it, I cop it. Got some new drip if I see it, I cop it. Saw that new whip if I see it, I cop it. Need a new grip if I see it, I cop it. Lots of shrimp if I see it, I cop it. I'm that kid if I see it, I cop it. House off the grid if I see it, I cop it.
We only got one life, I'ma get that. If you with that, do not sit back and just wish that you had it. Despite all your witchcraft and your riffraff, this is my gift and you wish that you had it. Tonight gonna bump trap, gonna thump that. Drums in the back and you know that we have it. Girls like where the one at, need to run back. Flee from these niggas, you know that they savage. They acting macho like they Randy Savage. They call me Pablo, the kingpin is at it. I am Apollo, you Rocky, I've had it. Y'all can just follow cause niggas is slacking. I am Jack Sparrow, my verses is cracking. I am the ghost and you rappers is Pac-Man. Out in the coast and I'm getting more blacking. Y'all acting hairy, I'm grabbing the waxing.
Top if I see it, I cop it. All of this guap if I see it, I cop it. Got some new drip if I see it, I cop it. Saw that new whip if I see it, I cop it. Need a new grip if I see it, I cop it. Lobster and shrimp if I see it, I cop it. I am that kid if I see it, I cop it. House off the grid if I see it, I cop it.
It's been a while since I dropped this shit. Swole fam, y'all better run this up. KD, let's go. Yeah. Aight, East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, Global with that gang gang, you know we don't play gang, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, Global with that gang gang, you know we don't play gang, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, Global with that gang gang, you know we don't play gang, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, Global with that gang gang, you know we don't play gang. I'm blessed, I never said I didn't struggle. I finesse, I never said I didn't hustle. These niggas talk so loud, the way I move is subtle. I'm the ocean, but these niggas just a puddle. Ay, oh, I swear I'm delusional. These niggas, they using me. They want my energy, ain't nothing new, this is usual. These figures confusing me. What's gotten into me? They say I'm using their cubicles. Clipping KD like some cuticles. None of this shit is excusable. Don't need a muse when I'm musical. Ay, whoa, I'm tired of saying for truth when nobody's doing it. Yeah. They're controlling the youth, agenda abusing them, nigga. We losing them. Matter of fact, we just abusing them, that's a fact. We try to roll with a ballad act. Fucking low key with a Tesseract. They throwing smoke when they got to that. Get the fuck up out your little bubble. They wanna ask how much it costs, I said it double. Gorilla beard, these niggas only rockin' stubble. The realest nigga make these bitches start to stumble. Aight, East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, Global with that gang gang, you know we don't play gang, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, Global with that gang gang, you know we don't play gang, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, Global with that gang gang, you know we don't play gang, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, Global with that gang gang, you know we don't play gang, yeah.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Normal.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling.
Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing, testicles. Welcome, everyone, to episode 3230 Schwam of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, bustas, hustlers, and y'all hoes? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. In today's episode, the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Eversting K2, flexing on all you bees.
Fucking Catalina. It's the fucking Catalina wine.
Fam, welcome to the show. Hashtag insane gains for a chance to win today's Swole card. That's right. Make insane gains or remain the same. There's no option but to make absolutely insane gains today. Drop that hashtag in the comments down below. We'll give this Swole card away at the end of today's episode. And of course, we got some tip for you. So without further ado, make sure you click all the links down below. If you're interested in merch, we got 20% off new merch. We'll talk about that in a second. Of course, memberships over at swolenormousx.com to join the fam today. Let's get on into that tip. Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside. You feeling good today, fam? I sure hope so. Let's get into a couple posts from the Swolenormous app, and we got one from Barry to kick us off today. Barry says, a quick update 5 weeks into my new life. I've lost 7.5 kilograms eating real food, and my belt almost needs a new hole. That's what she said. I've been back to the gym after a week off with a cold, but I've been doing more yoga at home this week. Today, I touched my toes for the first time, and I can't remember how long. I'm feeling great and getting compliments from my wife and 2 girls, and that means more than anything else. Hope you're all well. GTTFG. Cheers, Barry. That's what I'm talking about. Love to hear it. Good for you, B. Good for you. And another one from the app. Mike says, sup everyone, just joined the Swole fam. Welcome, Mike. I am Mike near Ocean City, Maryland. I've been on a lifestyle change over the last year. I've lost 90 pounds so far with a few more pounds to go. Now that I've lost a significant amount of weight, I'm looking for programming and help to get back into the gym. Joined for the awesome programming from the app. Happy to be here. Mike, welcome to the fam.
I give it a 10.
New members.
A 10. A fucking 10.
Welcome. Join Mike and join Barry and join the Swole fam and join all of us making sick gains. So welcome Mike and Barry to the fam. Super stoked to have you with us. Let's get into a couple Swole texts and sent this out yesterday morning. We got a couple more responses. Which pillar improving? Which pillar of the 7 pillars, improving which one has made the biggest impact for you lately? Now, of course, if you're familiar with the 7 pillars, you're working on these every day, but which one lately has made the most impact? Which one are you focusing on the most? And which one lately has made the biggest impact that you've improved? And Alex says, pillar number 5, recovery. I've discussed this at length, but having a recovery routine and taking my time instead of going balls deep every day makes working out so much more sustainable. That being said, I have trouble sleeping, and of course, daylight savings is now in effect where I'm at, so getting into a decent rhythm may take a while. I have habits I still need to fix, especially the first 2, community nutrition. I'm extremely conscious about my nutrition. I tend to overeat or slip up easily, especially under pressure, and I can't really say that my community is the greatest either. My family basically eats whatever, and it's a wonder how I'm able to pass up almost anything despite the constant 1 bite rule being pushed against me. Just take a bite. Just have a little bit. You're human. Just have a little bit. We're trashing our bodies. You should trash it too. Just take a bite. Take a bite. They want you to crack. They want you to crack because they're not going to do it themselves. So they're embarrassed that they're not taking care of their health and they see you stepping up. So it's brutal, but stay the course. Sheena says consistency has been the pillar I have struggled with the most. For the past month, I have been treating my nutrition and training like it's my job. Well, it is. I've improved other areas, but I really needed to kick things like bread and sugars out for good. In the past month of doing so consistently, I have lost 15 pounds. I still have quite a way to go, but seeing that consistency pay off on the scale, being able to lift more than I did a month ago, and just feeling better in my skin and seeing the results of the past month of hard effing work gives me renewed determination to keep going every single day. My goals are worth it, and I owe this to myself. Well done and well said. Well done and well said. So let's get into some questions. Welcome, Barry and Mike, again, and thank you for all the responses. If you did not respond yet to the Swole text from yesterday, make sure you do so, because we're probably going to get through a few more. We try to take a couple every day, and we'll get to more as we go through the week, of course. Let's get into some questions. We're live on TikTok, Rumble, YouTube, so drop your questions in the comments down below. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio to be featured on the show, and of course, all the links in the bio and underneath in the description of the podcast to find everything that you need when it comes to merch and memberships and all that stuff. Again, reminder, we have some new merch that dropped yesterday. Jurassic Pump is now available over at papaswolio.com. Great new design. Jurassic Park was a great movie, the original, and it was good, but Jurassic Pump is far better. Jurassic Pump is far better. If you really want to make gains, you should visit Jurassic Pump, because not only will dinosaurs chase you and try to rip out your soul, you'll actually make sick gains. So check it all out, papaswolio.com. 20% off all merch, everything. We got flags, cups, hats, hoodies, everything, cups, mugs, did I say that already? Stickers, ringtones, everything 20% off. Jurassic Pump, brand new drop. Check it out over there at papaswolio.com. Let's get into some questions. All right, first questions. Drop in the comments. Let's take one from Instagram stories. Matt VG, Papa Swolio, what do you think of the ab wheel? Is it worth it? I've said this for a long time. The ab wheel is essentially a really cheap product, right? $10, $15 maybe. And if you use it properly, it's great. A lot of people do it wrong. They're just rolling it out and they're doing an arm or a lat exercise. But if you really want to do the ab wheel, make sure you're getting a stretch. You're getting as much extension as you can with your spine, and then you're rounding and curling up. You're not sitting back on your heels. So it's hard to explain just via just talking, but it's good if you do it properly. Most people don't do it properly, but if you actually use it properly for flexion and extension, it actually is a good tool. So you can check it out. Ang Schmurda. Was that Ja Rule or something? It's Smurda. Remember that shit? All right, Papa Soy, how do I get my fat friend to stop using anxiety as an excuse and get him to go to the gym? That's a good question. Most people use anxiety and any other type of victimization to label themselves so they can make excuses not go to the gym. My recommendation is you go to the gym anyway and keep on telling your fat friend the truth that he needs to get off his ass and stop being a puss. However, he might not. So this might be that turning of the tides and the separation of when you start surrounding yourself with better people that are going to the gym. You can't make someone go to the gym. So it's definitely an excuse. And unfortunately, you can't change someone's habits. They have to want to do it for themselves. So you can encourage him and chide him and do anything that good friends do. But make sure that you're getting yours regardless. And don't slow yourself down just because your friend is making excuses. A lot of people have anxiety. And what is anxiety? It's just worrying about something that's not happening right now. It's just usually irrational worry. So most people that have anxiety don't sleep well. They don't meditate. They don't eat well. They don't exercise. They don't get sunlight. They don't touch grass. Their life is a mess. And that's why they have constant anxiety. They're eating tons of chemical garbage. They're on medications for it, which just mask the problems, just cover up the symptoms. So anxiety is a big excuse to not do things, even though going through is the best option and lifting is fantastic for all those things. Okay, it's usually always comes back to the habits, right? Always comes back to the habits. Store Machine, Papa Solia, what's your opinion on peanut butter? There are a lot of protein shake recipes with peanut butter. Is it a bad fat? I personally don't eat legumes. There's better options. Most peanut butter is crap. Same thing with almond butter. Maybe if you get something fresh, that might be a little bit better, but unfortunately, a lot of that is nonsense. I think there's much better options. So I don't personally eat it, but some people might have other preferences. So not a fan of it personally, but to each their own. Justin, thank you on TikTok. I know people make fun of you. Who makes fun of me? But you always speak the truth and you have my respect. Keep it up, man. Who makes fun of me? You mean people talk crap? People talk crap about everything. I don't think anyone makes fun of me. You can't make fun of someone if they don't receive it that way. So I don't care what people say about me. And that's really how you have to make content. If you're posting stuff online, you have to understand that people are going to disagree or they're going to dislike no matter what you say. So say what you want, say what you mean, and let people cry and complain and kick and scream and moan and whine and bitch. Their opinions are none of my business. They can whine and complain. I know what I'm saying and I know why I'm saying it. So it's all good. Haters gonna hate, bro. Yeah, Cerny says, give me some names. What are their names? What are their names? Riemann Walker, I'm a bodybuilder. I need that shirt. That's dope, bro. Yeah, we got, that's right. This is coming up. Go to the Fukin Gym. Check it out, papaswolio.com. The website link is in my bio on TikTok, 20% off. All right, drop some questions in the comments. Diane, how do you feel about the keto diet, Papa Swolio? I am not a fan of the keto diet at all, especially for weightlifting, especially for building muscle. So glycogen's really important, and you're not getting enough protein on keto in most instances. So very important, in my opinion, to focus much more on protein, more carbohydrates, especially if you're lifting weights and your goal is building muscle. I'm not saying keto is bad for certain situations. There are some people that could probably benefit, but a lot of times people do keto, but they're eating a lot of vegetable and seed oils. They're not doing it properly. And a lot of people think they're doing keto, but they're not, because a lot of proteins and even fats and certain things can impact your blood sugar. So unless you're using a continuous glucose monitor, you don't really know if you're actually in ketosis or if the foods that you're eating are keto focused or keto-centric, so to speak. So I'm just not personally a fan of keto. I've tried it before. I didn't like it with lifting, and that's just my personal take on it. Chris, carnivore diet, ? Steak and eggs for losing weight. What do you think? You don't want to lose weight. You want to lose fat. So you want to make sure you're lifting weights, you're progressively overloading and getting enough protein, fat, and carbs. Pretty simple. You don't want to lose weight. You want to lose fat. So you want to eat around a maintenance and be increasing your strength and not adding fat weight. So if you eat excessive amounts of calories in a short period of time, you're going to be putting on fat because you don't build muscle that quickly. But if you're maintaining your body weight or slightly losing and your numbers are going up, you're building muscle, trimming down some body fat, and your progressive overload will be your guide as to the muscle that you're building. Holden Asmus, cool name. Papa Swolio, what are your thoughts on functional strength versus visual strength? Papa Swolio, you have to be yoked to be strong, ? You're not going to get big without getting stronger. So if you build muscle, you're going to be stronger. And I don't know what you mean by functional strength versus visual strength. This whole idea of functional strength is a myth. It's not really a thing. I know people brand it, and I've used the term functional movements and functional training. Every muscle and strength is just functional, period. So I don't know what visual strength means either. Looking big, if you have big muscles, you are strong. You're strong. You're not going to get big without getting stronger, is my point. So if you're doing 10 to 15, 20 reps and you're building muscle, sure, you could lift heavier. You're stronger. You could lift heavier weight, but you're using a higher rep range towards failure to build muscle, which is okay, more fatigue, but you could build muscle with a wide variety of rep ranges. So the whole idea of functional strength, I don't know what visual strength means. I mean, there's only strength. So if you're getting stronger, you're building muscle, you don't have to be doing some weird, twisty, full range of motion to have functional strength. If you're lifting heavy weights, you're getting stronger. That's functional. That's real world strength. Maybe you're defining that or using that term and you have something else in mind. So you have to define what that means. Okay, Alex on YouTube. Papa Swolio, I'm being told that 30 minutes on the elliptical at a high intensity, boring as fuck, is going to slim me down. Is that a waste of time? And what cardio should I do besides someone's mom or girlfriend? Well, that's the best option. 30 minutes of elliptical at high intensity is not going to slim you down. any more than proper nutrition and training. So cardio is a spice. It's good to have heart health. You can do cardiovascular training. I'm not telling you not to. You're better off doing some sort of you're not, and plus you're not going to do 30 minutes of high intensity. That doesn't exist. So you're going to be doing long, slow duration. That's like jogging at a long distance. So you can't maintain high intensity for 30 minutes. You can do high intensity for like a minute or 15 seconds. That's why high intensity intervals for cardiovascular training is better. You'll save more time and you'll get higher heart rate cardio in terms of zone training, and it'll be better for fat metabolism long term. So if you're doing 20 minutes of cardio and you're doing 30 or 10, 15, 20 seconds all out, going low intensity or resting for a minute, and then doing 15, 20 seconds all out, resting for a minute or two, doing kind of like 5 or 6 rounds of that is more effective aside from just doing elliptical for long, slow. I mean, you could do that, but you're better off going for a walk or something like that also. So if you're trying to get rid of fat, it's going to be building muscle, proper nutrition, proper sleep, all those things, and your overall caloric intake. So remember, if you want to metabolize more fat at rest, you need more lean mass, more bone density, and more muscle mass. That's going to be the best for metabolizing fat and keeping that to a minimum. Don't forget, it also matters where you're starting from. If you're already starting overweight or obese, I know you want to get rid of that fat faster, but you need to build muscle. You should be starting off building muscle. Don't want to get into that trap of trying to lose weight first and then build muscle. You're just going to be losing muscle and kind of stalling yourself. You can definitely, if you're obese, you're going to be able to build muscle and, decrease fat over time. So you have to be very careful by obsessing with the scale. You don't want just that number to go down. You want to make sure your lean mass is increasing, and you can gauge that by, if you're getting stronger, you're building muscle, and then manage your caloric intake accordingly. Papa Swolio, Store Machine 97 on Rumble. What are your preferred carbs? I know to avoid grains and starches. What about rice, white or brown? If I eat rice, it's going to be, we like organic jasmine rice. White rice, of course, never brown. I like honey, dates, dairy, get carbs from dairy, also fruit. Those are my go-tos. Those are my go-tos for carbohydrates. Honey, dates, fruit, and white rice on occasion. Here and there. Like, so last night we each had a steak. We made 2 steaks. And then Mama Swolio made us both a big glass of broth with some rice in it. So we're kind of like eating rice and broth. So it was a nice combo. All right. More. Lisa Gawker on YouTube. Papa Swolio, do you think the Total Gym home equipment can give you a decent workout? Total Gym. Is that, what's the Total Gym? Is that the Chuck Norris thing? Break that down for me a little bit. I forget what that is. I know the name. That's like the infomercial stuff, right? Basil on TikTok, what do you think will happen during this tax season? What do you mean what will happen? I think probably a lot of people, I guarantee there's probably some people that won't pay their taxes. That's going to come back and bite them in the ass. I don't know what you mean by that. Are we going to have to pay taxes? Well, it's March 11th. So yeah, probably. Most people are going to file earlier anyway. And then what do you think? Trump's just going to get rid of taxes in the next month? A little short term to make those kinds of changes, but I'm all in favor, but I'm all in favor of getting rid of it. Yes, the Chuck Norris. So, okay. So with anything, Total Gym, I've never used one, but I know it's body weight, right? It's body weight and you can adjust the angle. So the higher the angle, the more resistance. So again, it's like anything else. It's like bands, it's like chains, it's like dumbbells or kettlebells. If you're adding resistance and you're training close to failure, you're going to build muscle. But like anything else, the total body is going to limit how much muscle you can build because you can only go so vertical or you can only load certain body parts so much. So as long as you're training close to failure and you're able to overload those body parts accurately, you'll be able to build muscle, but you're going to find at some point that you're going to have a plateau. You're going to have a limit to how much you can build or progress a certain exercise. So it might be good for shoulders or for chest or for back from certain angles. other body parts, it might not be as good. Again, what's your goal? So I'm not saying there's really no bad piece of training equipment. There's no bad piece of training equipment. It really depends on what your goal is and what your expectations are and how you use it. Because there's going to be a lot of people that will use the total gym wrong, and there might be an optimal way to use that for muscle growth. But again, if you can continuously add weight or micro load and add weight and reps and strategically increase the resistance, then you're going to hit a plateau objectively. Trey, does vaping affect ketosis / blood sugar / dieting? Been dieting for weeks and not seeing results. I can't tell you that. I'm sure it does affect some things, nicotine, but nicotine is not the evil product that people are saying it is. Obviously, smoking cigarettes and all the hundreds of different stabilizers and preservatives and chemicals in like Marlboro cigarettes or something like that is not good to consume. Vaping's also been shown to be pretty detrimental because of all the chemicals and stabilizers and stuff. Plus the metals and the vaping cartridges and things like that, things I've read. I've never done the vaping thing. Been dieting for weeks and not seeing results. Well, I don't know what that means too. Weeks is not that long. And what are you doing? What do you consider dieting? How about eating healthy? How about eating proper food and reducing inflammation? Everyone's trying to do caloric restriction, but they're doing caloric restriction with garbage foods, which are going to cause inflammation and jack up your hormones. Plus, there's a lot of other environmental factors. So you really have to be detailed. Dieting doesn't really have the same meaning for everyone, that's for sure. Diets don't work. Well, a diet is just the sum of everything that you consume. So each one of us has a diet. Your diet might suck. Your diet might be, I don't know, a lot of nuts and seeds. My diet's a lot of steak and animal foods. Everyone has a diet. Dieting usually associates with some sort of like restriction or fad approach. Understanding how your body works with certain food sources and things like that, that's what's much more important. A little punched in over here. All right, you could follow up with more questions. If I answer, but you want a little bit more, just follow up with the question. Hashtag insane gains to win the Swole card on Rumble. Drop your hashtag in the comments down below. Hashtag insane gains. And by the way, we're only here for the knowledge cock portion. So if you're on TikTok, you can come on over on Rumble or YouTube at The Daily Swole. And of course, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. This is episode 3231. We're live. We got episodes every day. So make sure you follow the podcast and share it with your friends. Basil, have you ever thought of debating Dr. Ids? I don't know who that is. On vegetable oils? No, I have not. Debating really isn't a good use of time. Vegetable oils are, why would you consume ultra processed polyunsaturated fats? Why would you consume, so I'm assuming you're categorizing vegetable oils and seed oils the same. So let's talk about vegetable oils and seed oils. They are ultra processed industrial waste products. So I will not be eating them. I don't need to debate anyone on consuming them. If you want to consume toxic trash, then consume toxic trash. I'm just telling you it's not good for you. Seed oils came around and were used to lubricate engines. So capitalism is great, but it also has encouraged people to try to maximize every single product, including waste products, in order to maximize profits. So do your glasses block blue light? Yes, these do. And when I'm staring at 5 screens, it's much more relaxing. EBG, hi Papa, hello. Do you have any experience with PCOS and weight loss? Yes, from all my experience, PCOS is an insulin resistance issue. So I would highly recommend looking into your nutrition. You might want to do something more animal-based or carnivore and remove estrogenics from your environment. I would recommend checking out the book, Estrogeneration. I think it was written in 2017 or something like that. It might give you some more background and some better perspective as to the impacts of foods in your environment. And lotions and toxins in your environment that are jacking up your endocrine system. Estrogeneration, correct. It's one word. Instead of estrogen, it's estrogeneration. It's just a one word. That's the term. That's the title of the book. Check it out. And next time I'm on live, come on back and join. And EBG, if you're interested in finding more about the podcast and all that stuff, there's a lot of links. You can follow me on Instagram or go to swolenormousx.com if you're interested in our programs and elimination diet and recipes in our Swolenormous app. So check out that book. I think you'll like it. How many of you guys have read that book, Estrogeneration? I've talked about it a lot in the past. Haven't mentioned it in a while. It's good stuff. All right, let's take another one. Kara Alexis 03, do you eat burgers, Papa Swolio? Actually, we had burgers the other night, but it's ground beef that Mama makes, and she mixes it and adds whatever spices or whatever the hell she did to the beef. And we have it with raw cheese and pickles and all sorts of stuff. So burgers are great. The thing is, when people think about burgers, they think of the ultra processed stuff and the garbage buns and all that stuff. Just make burgers, make burger patties. Fantastic. So yeah, I eat burgers. I just don't eat McDonald's burgers, for example. Burger patties are the dope. Jericho fan, Papa Swolio, currently started doing workouts at home gym. Are there any differences between gym benches? Between different gym benches, are there any differences? In the benches at the gym? Absolutely. That's a good question. Yeah, if you go to a gym, a commercial gym, the benches are going to be made for commercial use. So if you buy gym equipment at home, if you're going on Titan Fitness and buying gym equipment, that's designed for home use. It's not made with the heaviest metal. It's not made for the heaviest weights. It's not made for mass use. So if you go to a professional commercial gym and they have Cybex equipment or Techno Gym or Hammer Strength or something, that's commercial grade equipment because people are loading up hundreds of pounds, smashing it. They're being used constantly all day long. So they're made with better metal. They're made to take a lot of use. Just like the treadmills. And treadmills at gyms and all the cardio equipment, because they're on like almost 24 hours a day. That's why they break, even though they're commercial grade equipment. Because people that are members, you're paying $30 a month or $10 a month or whatever it is. People trash stuff that's not theirs. So a lot of these things just get a beat down. And everyone knows you have certain pieces of equipment that people try to get for whatever reason. There's certain step mills that people like. So everyone's trying to get one on the corner, or it has the best view, or it has whatever it is. People, there's always one or two equipment. There's usually an area where most of them get used, and it depends on the gym, but they're commercial grade. So if you have a bench, and a commercial bench is usually expensive, you can find ones that are used on Facebook Marketplace for a couple $100. But if you're buying a brand new commercial bench, it's going to cost you $1,000 plus. And you guys will know this. If you're trying to load up a bench that's on Amazon, that's like $100, $200, it should be fine for most people if you're training at home, but it's going to be more rickety. It might slide a little bit if you're doing something with cables. It's not super, super heavy. So it's easy to move. That's great. But if you're really trying to load up tons of weight and use a bench, that's why some of them are really, really heavy, because they need to be able to withstand a 200-pound dude plus lifting 100-pound dumbbells. It has to be able to hold 400, 500, 600 pounds. Bottom line, you want to get a quality bench, and there's a lot of different options out there. But I would encourage most people, if you're trying to build out a home gym, I would recommend going on Facebook Marketplace and getting used commercial equipment. Because there's great Body Masters benches and stuff that people sell. Maybe it has a little rust on it, doesn't matter. You get it for $200-$300. People are trying to clear out their garage, and you get a really nice $1,000 or $1,500 bench for a couple $100. Natbat Bachman. Hi, Papa. Do you think cardio is a must to become leaner and healthier? I prefer strength training. Cardio is not a must. You're going to get cardiovascular benefits from weightlifting, just not the same as you do with focused cardio. So I would focus on your weight training and strength training and be increasing, and then add cardio in after workouts or on off days. Go for walks. Make sure you're getting cardiovascular training. Go in the sauna. But use that as a seasoning and adjust it accordingly so it doesn't add into fatigue and negatively affect your strength training. So I have nothing against cardio. Certain people like cardio more, or they like doing certain things. So you have to factor that in, what you like to do, and understand what your goal is, and make sure that whatever you're doing is focused on getting you towards your goal and what you're trying to achieve. A lot of people try to, hey, I want to get leaner, I want to build muscle, and they do tons of cardio. That's not the direction, right? That's not what you should be focusing on the most. And being healthy is relative. That's a vague term. So you want to lose fat and you want to be healthier. Well, being healthier can happen with many different things. Basil, what's your opinion on the S&P 500? My opinion? In terms of what? In terms of just investing in the S&P 500? I like the variety of questions. We just go from cardio to investing. Not professional financial advice, by the way. None of this is financial advice. Got to say that, right? What do you mean? What do I think about it? Alex, I just don't like reading books. That's my main issue. We'll use Audible. For investing, everyone's got their own approach to it. I would start learning more about Bitcoin. Not financial advice, but there's a lot of great books about the foundations of money. Once you understand what money actually is, you can learn and make proper investments for you and your family. The problem is just general investing. Nothing's going to outpace Bitcoin. So you have the general S&P 500. It'll go up over time, but does it keep pace with inflation? And the answer is no. So this is what all those hedge firms that make billions of dollars and have billions and billions of assets under management, all they do is try to beat the index. That's what all these hedge funds do. That's the only thing that they're in business for, is to outpace inflation and to beat the S&P. My recommendation, no matter what you're doing, don't trade. Don't be a trader. Time in the market is more important than timing the market. Same thing with Bitcoin. The problem with a lot of people is they just ask, like, hey, some financial advisor, what should I do? Oh, buy these bonds and get these treasury bonds and this, that, And what they'll have you do is they'll give you something that doesn't, on paper, maybe, oh, I'm not losing money over time, but you're losing purchasing power. So just because your value of your house is going up, it's not a real increase in value. It's a debasing of the U.S. currency. So as the U.S. prints money and as we get more and more into debt and as they lower interest rates, the house that you own might go from 400 to 600, but it didn't increase in value. That's just inflation. So you're not outpacing and you're not actually gaining buying power. You might actually be losing, depending. Just some initial thoughts if you want to follow up. Take it for what it's worth, not financial advice, but learning about what money actually is in a new age is very important. Just my 2 cents. Let's take some more questions. Do I eat burgers? Masi Gianni. Papa Swole, working on strength would also improve definition? ? Thanks. Not necessarily. Building muscle isn't going to improve your definition unless you are decreasing your body fat over time. So people want to lift weights to, quote, get toned, but there's no such thing as toning muscle. There's building muscle, and there's getting rid of the extra fat on top, the subcutaneous fat that is keeping you from seeing your definition and veins in your muscles and striations and this, that, and the other. So if you want definition, you need muscle mass first. So build muscle. You look absolutely fantastic today. Thank you. Thank you. You made me feel good. Made me feel happy. Ian Ohm, 22. Papa Swole, what are the best upper body workouts? Need a more specific question. There is no best upper body workout. I'm not just going to give you here's some exercise for your upper body. You're going to have to come a little bit more detailed than that. Me cariño, Papa Swolio, I'm going to the gym 5 days in the week, Monday to Friday, and I'm off during the weekend. Is that good? I don't know. Is it? For one thing, training 5 days a week is pretty much too much. You don't have to lift 5 days a week. And chances are, if you're doing 5 days straight, you're exhausting yourself and you're not really getting much out of it. You're better off doing at least 2 on, 1 off, or every other day full body, or upper lower rest and then upper lower rest. You're better off doing, with what you're doing, you're better off doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, Thursday, Friday, and then the weekends off, and doing upper lower or full body 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then taking the weekends off. So if you're off on the weekend and you want to keep it that way, I would actually decrease how many days you're intensely lifting and tighten up your programming a little bit. So that's good. I'm proud of you. I'm not saying you shouldn't be going to the gym 5 days a week, but I'm saying is you could probably get more out of it and decrease your fatigue a little bit. Kyle, how effective do you believe drop sets are? I don't believe that they are effective. I think it's just more fatigue and not necessary. I used to do a lot of that stuff back in the day. I've done a lot of drop sets and triple sets and super sets. I don't do that anymore. So right after you're doing a weight, doing a drop set, you're not getting stimulus. You're just exhausting yourself. You might feel more of a pump and you're going to be more tired, but that's exactly why you're going to be more fatigued, but you're not getting the stimulus. The whole idea is to improve and to isolate and to access the stimulus and then minimize fatigue. So again, what's the goal for building muscle? Stimulus up, fatigue down. So how can you maximize fatigue, stimulus while minimizing fatigue? And you don't have to get obsessed about fatigue, but usually that's what's holding people back. And if we analyze why someone isn't seeing progress and we look at it through the lens of fatigue, you start realizing, hey, a lot of these people are training too often during the week, or they're doing too much volume, or they're doing the reps are too high, or the exercise selection isn't ideal. So you want to push yourself, but the goal is not to be exhausted. The goal is to build muscle. So if the goal is to build muscle, what's the best way to build muscle and do that? And sometimes people just get obsessed about, I want to be in the gym every day. I want to train. I love training. Well, I love making progress. I like training too, but I don't want to just do the work and not see progress. The whole idea is I enjoy lifting, but I want to see the results from it. The whole goal is to build muscle, not just to do stuff and feel tired and, okay, well, I did stuff and spin my wheels. I want to make progress. Resh says, Papa Swole, full body 3 days and 2 leg days. How effective is that? What's your split? You're doing 3 full body days and then 2 leg days? That doesn't make sense. So explain that. What's the split look like for that? Then you're doing 5 days a week, and then full body means you're doing legs. Now, when you do full body, you can have a full body that's more biased towards upper body. So you could do a full body where you train upper body first, or certain exercise that you want to. Again, what are you trying to prioritize for your upper body? So on a full body, maybe upper biased split, maybe you're trying to bring up your chest and your back. So you do chest and back first, and then maybe you do some leg movements and you go back to shoulders and arms. Depending on your gym, sometimes you have certain things set up in a certain area. You can go back and forth, not with no rest, but you can alternate. Or you can have a lower body, biased full body. I like to go upper, lower, and full body, and I mix that up depending on how I feel. Full body is exhausting. Full body is probably the best, but it's hard to maintain because it's exhausting. It's hard to be consistent with full body. It's really great. So what I do is I do full body as often as I can. And if I feel a little bit wiped out or it's just one of those days, I'll just do upper or lower. And then I go back to full body. So I really like an upper lower. Let's say a Monday. I'm saying Monday, Tuesday. I'm starting on Monday because a lot of people think the week starts on Monday. It doesn't really matter what day you're doing this. So just keep that in mind. Monday, Tuesday, rest on Wednesday, full body on Thursday, rest on Friday. And then either I start upper lower again or I do another full body. So I did full body 2 days ago. And today is either full body or it's going to be upper. And I think I might just do upper today. and lower tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to do full body today, but I might change my mind when I start lifting. Anaba. Bro, what about 4 sets of 12 reps? Is it worth it? No. 12 reps isn't the enemy. If you're going close to failure, you can build muscle with 12 reps. Nothing wrong with that. It's high for my liking for most body parts. The only time I would do anywhere between like 6 and 10 is with single joint exercise. If I'm doing a preacher curl or I'm doing a tricep extension, I don't mind doing 6, 7, 8 reps. I'm not really a fan of doing 4 reps really low for single joint exercise, but you also can. Just got to work your way, down to it. For compound movements, I'm fine doing lower repetitions for chest and for back. For legs, like for squats and stuff, or for hack squat, I actually personally like a little bit, I want to say higher repetitions, but anytime I've done 3, 4, 5, I'm not a big fan of going super low reps for legs. I feel better anywhere between like a 6 and 10, depending. So when I say 6 to 10 or 6 to 8 or a range, let's say 4 to 10, let's say 4 to 10 reps is my goal. So if I'm doing any body part, I'm getting 5 reps, 6 reps, 7, 8. If I start getting up in that range, I'll add like a little bit of weight and then it'll come back down to 5 or 6 repetitions. So I'll stick with the weight. Depending on how I feel, maybe I'll add a pound or a 2.5, or I'll micro load and get the same reps, or maybe get an extra rep, right? Adding a little bit of weight and then getting an extra rep is fantastic. That just means your recovery and your training and your nutrition and sleep is everything's on point. But you can have a range, and then as you get higher in that range, add a little bit of weight to bring it down to the bottom aspect of that range. And remember, the heavier you're going, the less you have to go to absolute failure. So you can leave a rep in the tank if you're doing 4, 5, 6 reps and minimize fatigue and get pretty much all the benefits, because that last rep takes a lot out of you. I'll watch some of my videos and I'll see like the last rep and I'm like struggling, and I get it because once I'm there, it's like, all right, I'm going to go through. But looking back on that, if I knew that was going to be my last rep, and I probably should have left it off. But sometimes you just go through and push it. Just use training to failure, because 0 reps, like a 0 RIR, getting that last rep and barely getting it, that's pretty much failure, because if you tried another rep, you would fail. So 0 RIR and failure are essentially the same thing. If that's a last rep you could possibly do and you're not getting another one, then that's task failure. You wouldn't get it. There's no point like, okay, I got the last rep, and then if I come back down, okay, failure. It's the same thing pretty much. It's going to be more fatigue, so when you're doing higher repetitions, like 10, 12, 15, it's harder to gauge how many reps left you have in the tank. Kurt, thoughts, are partials after failure worth it? I don't believe so. You're just adding fatigue because you're not actually completing the rep. So it's not really a stimulus. It's just more damage from a lengthened position. And you might feel more sore afterwards, but you're not getting more benefit because you're not completing the rep. DK, the best way to build forearms. Forearms are very genetic. So there's a lot of different ways to do it. I go back with different things, but a gripper is great. Also, doing a wrist roller is a great way for most people to train. You load up the weight, stand up on some blocks so you're not holding it out in front. People do wrist rollers out here like this, but just makes it a shoulder exercise. So you can stand with your arms down, roll it up, focus on the concentric, unroll it, roll it up again, put whatever weight on there, go to absolute failure. Do 1 set of flexion, 1 set of extension. That's a good way to do it. You could do reverse curls for the brachioradialis. You could do wrist extensions or dumbbell curls. Cables are great because the tension's even. Sometimes with a dumbbell, depends on how you're doing it. Club work is great. Farmer carries, dead hangs can be great, but forearms are very genetic. So that t-shirt is fire. Thank you. If you want to check out all the merch, we got 20% off everything. So this leprechaun design is 20% off too. Everything on the site is 20% off. So papaswolio.com. The link is in my bio right here on Instagram, on TikTok. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. Karen says to cut timber. My dad had massive farms when he was younger, cutting trees for 40 plus years. That would do it. That would do it. Chainsawing and with the axe and all that stuff. If you're not used to cutting trees or cutting down stumps and stuff like that, and you wield an axe and you haven't in a while, like your hands, your grip, your hands are cramping. Yeah, it's serious hard work. Hi, mate. How big is your chopper? Ask your mom, dude.
Emotional damage.
Greetings from Miami. Jesus. ¿Qué pasó, man? Basil. Papa Swolio, how much time would you spend in the sauna after a workout? If I was going to sauna after a workout, I would spend the same time, 20 to 30 minutes. I try to do it more on days where I'm not training, just because in Florida, it's hot as hell. So if I'm outside, 2 days ago, I was training. It was 89 degrees and I'm outside in, under the tarps and stuff, lifting. I'm losing water. I'm sweating my ass off. The desire to go into a sauna after that is just absolutely zero. It's absolutely zero. Just saying, you can. And if you're in an air-conditioned gym, you might feel like doing the sauna. So after a workout if you're going to do it, after a workout is the best time. If you're going to do it on the same day, don't do it before. But after is a good time to do it. If you go to the gym and the gym has a sauna, after you finish your workout, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, it's basically a sauna. So I'm outside lifting in a sauna, just dripping. So the last thing I want to do is go inside and get into like a 200-degree hot box. I'm like, I'm good for the day. All right, let's get another question. Good questions on TikTok. Appreciate it. Kuba785, is there a major difference between doing 4 sets versus 3 sets? In fatigue, yes. In stimulus, no. I would say I don't even do 3 sets. For a body part, in a workout, I do 1 set. With either an upper-lower split or a full body. Now, you might like to do, if you do upper-lower and then upper-lower, maybe you can get away and recover from 2 sets per body part for an upper-lower split, but not everyone can. So what I do is I do 1 set per body part, and I try to do full body whenever I can. If I need a little bit more recovery, I'm doing upper-lower with 1 set and adding an extra day of recovery and then going back to full body. So I don't add volume because I go upper-lower. I use that for increased recovery, but I still maximize fatigue, maximize stimulus. That's what I do. You don't have to do it exactly the same way, but that's why I do it. David, Papa Swoley, is it good to do 1 leg day per week, but with super good workout? Having a leg day is good. You're better off doing 2 leg workouts a week. Look, across the board, people should be doing training body parts twice a week. Twice in a cycle. You don't have to be obsessed with a 7-day rotation, but you should be training body parts as frequently as possible. Keep the intensity high and adjust the volume accordingly to make sure that you're able to progressively overload regularly. So actually, Kylie, you're here. Remember you were talking about doing 1 leg workout. You do hamstrings once a week. Kylie, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to improve? Are you trying to improve? Are the hamstrings a focus point for you? Because when I said yesterday, you said you trained them on Saturday, and yesterday you were doing quads, and you're doing 3 sets. 1, you don't want to do redundant workouts, but you may be better off even doing 1 set you're better off doing 1 set 3 times a week for hamstrings than 3 sets once a week or 2 sets once a week. So 2 to 3 sets. The more frequently you can hit a body part and provide stimulus, the better. And then you have to just determine how you're able to recover from that and what works for you. Karen says he's 80 now and still logs 2 days a week. My stepfather was chopping wood and stuff up until when he died. He was a lumberjack, old school lumberjack. He used to do he was a champion lumberjack. One of those guys, when you chop like the divots in the tree and you put up the board, like what's it called? The swing board chopper, whatever the heck it's called. Like the outdoor games type stuff. He used to do the 2-man saw and the log rolling. He used to do all that stuff too. I did it 1 year with him. It's hard shit. He used to compete and do that kind of stuff, wood chopping. Kylie, so you were saying to add one more day of hamstrings, one hip hinge movement, and one knee flexion movement. That'd be, if you're going to do it, yeah, I would say add another day at least. And make sure you're not doing redundant movements. So spread it out. Start with 2 days, going from one, and see how you feel. If hamstrings and glutes are your focus, then I would say do it 3 times a week. Just at least twice a week. Start there. And the reason why I say that is your programming and your schedule, whatever you decide to do, should revolve around your hamstrings and glutes. So look at your schedule. Okay, how can you get hamstrings and glutes 3 times a week and then revolve other things around that? You could do a hamstring and glute day and add in some shoulders or something. You could do and make it a full body workout. Kylie, I'm trying to figure out how to hit glutes and hamstrings and quads enough through the week without getting fatigued. Full body 3 times a week. Or upper lower rest, full body rest, full body rest, upper lower rest, full body rest, full body rest. Because if you do it that way, you're doing upper lower rest, full body rest, full body on Saturday. Rest, and then if you're doing Monday as the start, Monday, Tuesday, off Wednesday, training Thursday, off Friday, training Saturday, off Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Or Monday, Tuesday, off, Thursday, off, Saturday, Sunday, off. But then it throws off the Monday start if you want to keep Monday as like a reset. So again, Kylie, make sure you listen to the podcast over the weekend. Was it Saturday? Frequency, intensity, and volume. That's all it is. Frequency, intensity, and volume. So again, frequency is the most important. So, and then intensity. Intensity has to be high. Frequency needs to be high. And then adjust the volume accordingly. There's many ways to do it. Think about what you want to, anything you want to prioritize, you should be looking to train that 2 to 3 times a week, whatever you're trying to prioritize. They see me smile. I am on a diet, but I lose strength. Tips? Yeah, you need to eat more protein and up the calories. You're losing strength because you're probably not getting enough glycogen. You're not eating enough food. Is bicarbonate soda good for performance and gains? You mean sparkling water? I like sparkling water, if that's what you mean. The Halcyon cluster. 3 sets of lateral raises every single workout day. Yay or nay? Nay. How often are you trying to train? If you want to get big shoulders, lateral raises are overrated. Lateral raises are good, but you're going to get the middle deltoid if you're doing an overhead press. Are you doing shoulder pressing? If you want big shoulders, you should be doing shoulder pressing. So do a shoulder press. You can do a high incline. You don't have to do a vertical, straight vertical, but do a high incline and do your lateral raises either with cables. So you're really taxing the lengthened portion of the movement, and do 1 set. If you're trying to bring up your shoulders or whatever body part, train it first in the workout and do 1 all out set. Remember, whatever you train first is going to get the most stimulus. So train the body part you're trying to bring up first in your workout. Awkward nerd, Papa Soy, what do you recommend for tendon pain? Male 44. I like to push myself, but end up with tennis elbow. You gotta strengthen. You gotta strengthen your extensors. Check out the TheraBar and do eccentrics. You just have a muscle imbalance. You shouldn't be getting tennis elbow. It's just repetitive movement. So take care of your tendons. Take care of your tendons. A lot of people get tendon pain and stuff like that from doing way too much volume. Again, think about like your elbows and your biceps. People get tendonitis and issues because you're doing 12 sets for fucking arms. So a lot of people, they go do an arm day and they do 12 sets for biceps and 12 sets for triceps. That's insane. Of course you're going to get tendonitis. You have tiny little tendons in your arms and stuff. Like, you don't need that much. So yesterday or 2 days ago when I did full body, I did one all-out set for preacher curls and one all-out set for single arm tricep pushdowns. Good. And I'm going to hit it again today. I'm going to do JM press today. Remember, how many opportunities can you give yourself to maximize stimulus? Maximize stimulus essentially is that first set. So think about how often you can train a body part every other day. That's the highest frequency. Now, again, not every body part will be optimal training every other day. Some body parts you might want to do every other workout versus every other day. Okay. You could still have a leg day and you want to bring up your shoulders. So on your leg day, maybe you do a set of shoulder press or you do your lateral raise before legs. There's nothing wrong with that. What are you trying to prioritize? If you're trying to bring up your calves, train your calves first before every workout. Do one all-out set. Full stretch, come to neutral, partial reps at the end. The calves are great and they respond to stretch-mediated hypertrophy. So even doing partial lengthened reps at the end of a set, like take it to absolute failure and do that every other workout or every other day, depending on your split. Again, the training split forget the training split. The training split doesn't matter. People are really obsessed with upper, lower, or this, that, and the other. So what would you call a leg day that you do biceps first? Is it full body? Not really. It doesn't really matter. It's a leg day, but if you need to bring up your biceps, then train it more frequently and do a set before your leg day. If you have a set lower day, if you're doing upper on Monday and then lower on Wednesday, do a set for bicep curls on Monday and then do a set before your leg day on Wednesday. That might be totally cool, or on Thursday. So you don't have to have a set name. It doesn't have to be upper or push pull. It doesn't have to be only those things. What are you trying to prioritize? So if I'm doing a full body workout, whatever I'm training first in that workout is going to get the most stimulus. And plus, the great thing about full body is you're coming off a recovery day. So even later in your workout, you're coming off a complete recovery day before. You're still going to get more stimulus than if you're doing upper the day before and then lower right after. You're still fatigued from the workout the day before. Objectively, you're better off having you're better off having a recovery day in between. Kuba, is one heavy set actually enough? Absolutely. If you're training up to and including failure and one set, absolutely. But again, one set per week is probably not going to be enough. You want to do at least, if you're doing one all-out set like I am, you want to do it 2 or 3 times a week. So you can make gains doing one heavy set twice a week. I still think you should be doing it 3 times a week. So for me, if I'm doing full body every other day, I'm not doing 2 sets for a body part. I'm going to be too sore. I'm going to be too fatigued. I think the general consensus is if you do one all-out set, let's say you're doing chest, you do one all-out set, it's going to take 3 or 4 more sets to match the stimulus from that first set. So in other words, after that first set, you're beating a dead horse. This is why if you're doing a workout and you're doing this approach is the dumbest thing you can do. Doing a set for 12 reps and you're going close to failure. Then you add more weight and then you do 10 reps. Then you add more weight and you do 8 reps. Then you add more weight and you do 6 reps. It's completely backwards. You're the most exhausted when you're trying to lift the heaviest. You want to warm up and do that all out 6 reps. What else do you need? You're going to drop the weight and do more reps? Okay. But dropping the weight, you're not getting the stimulus that you got from going heavier for doing the 6 reps. That was your set. That was your war set. Everything else is just kind of beating a dead horse. I'm not saying it's not worth it or you're not going to make gains doing it, but you're getting much less stimulus in that first set. All right. Any other questions? Kylie, Papa Solius, what you're saying is I could do 1 set of glutes every other day, no matter what else I'm hitting. Correct. You like the banded hypers? You could do those every other day. No problem. And you'll see your strength going up dramatically. Again, something like the glutes can handle more frequent training. There are some body parts that every other day you might just not recover from as much. Everyone's a little bit different, but the glutes are such a thick, dense muscle, and you're not really getting you're not really getting a crazy stretch, right? You're not getting a crazy stretch in the glutes. So they're just going to recover faster. Remember, if you're doing more lengthened positions, it's going to be hard for you to do that every other day. So for example, if you're doing hamstrings and you want to train hamstrings 3 times a week, I personally would not do seated leg curls 3 times a week. I do seated leg curls maybe once a week, but I'll do prone leg curls, or I'll do the banded hyper. So I'm getting some hip hinge, I'm getting some I'm getting some hamstrings, but I'll train the hamstrings in more of a shortened position like a prone leg curl because they're less fatiguing and you're getting less of a stretch, but I'm still training the knee flexion component because I'm also doing banded hypers or with weights or a stiff leg deadlift or something like that, or good mornings. So again, exercise selection matters. And if you're training a muscle in a lengthened position, it's going to cause more quote unquote damage. It's easier to recover from a prone leg curl than it is a seated leg curl. What's a prone leg curl? On your stomach. If you're in a seated position, you're lengthening the hamstrings maximally from the start. So from a stretch position, you're going to get more fatigue from doing a lengthened position. That's why if you do a seated leg curl, you might feel much more sore than if you do a prone leg curl. Progressive overload is progressive overload. You're still going to build muscle with both. But for me, if I'm doing heavy 45-degree banded hypers and doing a seated leg curl, that's a lot of extra fatigue. I'd rather pair it up with, if I'm doing seated leg curls, I'm probably not going to do 45-degree hypers that day just because I can take one extra recovery day and focus my energy on the seated leg curl and then go back to it. So when it comes to recovery and fatigue, look, you can push through a lot. The human body can handle and get used to a lot. All I'm saying is it's something you should pay attention to because there's really no bad split. You can do a bro split and build muscle. You can do a push-pull leg and build muscle. What I'm saying is if you're doing, let's say, a bro split and you're doing each body part, you have a chest day, you have a back day, you have a shoulder and arms day, you have a leg day, whatever. You're training body parts once a week. You're trying to provide a stimulus to grow once a week. What do you think is better? Providing a stimulus, your muscles getting a stimulus to grow once a week or 3 times a week? Let's say you're recovering from each way, whether it's 3 times a week or once a week. Let's say you're fully recovering 3 times a week, right? So someone who's doing full body 3 times a week, providing that max stimulus, one all out set, they're sending that growth stimulus 3 times versus once. So there's a lot of logic behind you're going to be making 3 times the progress. Basil says, Papa Swole, if you had a free ticket anywhere in the world, where would you go? I'd go to the fucking gym. You didn't expect that, did you?
Hadouken! Hadouken! Hadouken!
Alex says, I always thought prone leg curls were harder than seated. It depends on what you're not used to doing. If you're not used to doing prone, it's going to be a strange feeling if you're just new to the movement. Not to mention, some machines are better than others. There might be a prone leg machine that you use at a gym. Oh, I love it. This fit great. I felt the angle. It was awesome. And then you might try one at a different gym and it sucks. That's the thing with machines. Sometimes the machine just isn't, it's all your gym has. And let's say there's one gym in your town, you go and use their equipment. And I'm saying, hey, stable exercises, choose that. And you just don't like the machine. Some machines suck. Like some machines really suck. They're not good or they don't fit you well. They might fit someone else fantastic, but you use it and you hate it. You know? This is why when I bought my equipment, I knew what I was looking for. I would have made maybe slight changes looking back on it. But of course, if I'm buying stuff on Facebook Marketplace, it's really whatever's available. And I'm really happy with the choices that I made. But I bought each piece of equipment I bought for a specific reason. And most gyms, especially new ones, they'll have a leasing agreement or whatever. And they'll spend $100,000 or whatever to lease equipment. And then you get all one line. So you get all techno gym, which I don't like techno gym equipment, or matrix equipment. I don't like that stuff. They'll have a lot of old school gyms. Sometimes they have all Body Master stuff, or they have all old Cybex stuff. And that's great. But most gyms don't have variety with equipment. A lot of older school gyms have more variety. But a lot of new gyms will just they'll pay a company and get whatever standardized crap. So you really know if the owner knows what they're doing, if they curate quality equipment versus just, hey, I'm just getting all of these and it's all new equipment. It's all the same brand. A lot of it's usually crap. New equipment today is pretty gnarly. It's not that great. Some of it's awesome. So today you have they save money on certain types of metal. It's not really made well, but then you also have other companies you'll pay a pretty penny for, but there's a lot of new equipment that's absolutely awesome. So there's less in the middle equipment today. Old school equipment is generally almost I don't want to say across the board, but a lot of it's just really, really good because they made stuff to last. They made stuff for actual bodybuilders, because back in the 80s, the only people that were really training hard in the gyms were professional bodybuilders. So a lot of this equipment was really made for hardcore training. And then it became more mainstream. So you needed equipment that went really light and that felt good and that looked good. And okay, a 70-year-old grandma could use this machine, and you get that kind of stuff. Jeff, hi. So why do bodybuilders do so much volume? You fried my brain now with this 1 set per body part. Because they're on juice. What steroids do is allows you to recover faster. So this is my point. Can you get away with doing more volume? You can get away with it. I used to do a lot more volume, but I found that I get even better results, especially as I've gotten older and have much more experience. And plus I can load the weight. When you get much more experienced and you're lifting 300, 400, 500 pounds, when you're putting 20 plates on a leg press, how many sets of that do you think you can handle? So as you get stronger and as you get more advanced and as you're able to maintain form through a full range of motion on your last rep to failure, you don't need as much. You can't handle as much. You still have the same body. You're still a human. I might be 220 pounds, but versus 200 pounds, it's like I'm still a human being. It's not like I'm 500 pounds and I'm a machine now. It's still the same brain. I still have one heart. I still have lungs. I still have one liver and one spleen. So the more advanced you get, the less volume you need to maintain and the less volume you need to make growth. The less volume you're not going to be able to do high volume naturally. Because if you do high volume, you're not going to recover. So in other words, you're at 100%, you do a lot of volume, you're back down to like 70. By the time you're training again, you're at 85, 90%. You might feel good, but your numbers don't go up. You don't build muscle. You're just breaking it down again. And you're only always getting back to like 80, 85, 90%. And you train again and you kind of stay at the same weight. If your weights are not increasing, if you're not getting more reps or you're not able to add weight, you're not building muscle. You have to get stronger to build muscle. You're not going to get bigger by doing 10-pound curls. Time under tension. It's fucking nonsense. It's just nonsense. Squatch, good afternoon. Any suggestions to stretch out a sore groin? Dude, stop whacking it. I tweaked it at football a few days ago. You're spanking it, huh? Quote, football. Foosball. A sore groin. Cossack squats are great. You might want to spend some time training on the adductor machine. Make sure you train your adductors and abductors. Very important. If you want big legs, you want big adductors. Because quads are not that thick. If you want big legs, a lot of people want the quad sweep, right? That's vastus lateralis. You're going to get vastus lateralis by doing any kind of squat pattern. Leg press, hack squat, barbell squat. You're getting vastus lateralis work, okay? If you want to train the rectus femoris, you want to lock the femur and the hip into position, so doing something like a leg extension is a better option. If you want to hit the rectus femoris, because the only quad muscle, you have 4 muscles. The quads are not one muscle, it's 4. And they're not that thick, they're not wide. So if you want sweep, everyone's different, but you want to do squats and stuff to get that vastus lateralis popping. But a lot of people have skinnier looking legs because they don't have the meat on the inner thigh. That's adductors. You got to do the sus machine. Got to get those adductors. Let's go.
Hadouken!
Let's go.
Eat shit, Derek.
I felt good. Techzilla, hey, why did you stop gaining weight? I don't know if I did. I don't fit into my fucking clothes anymore. All my clothes went from large to XL. And I think I might have to get some double XL. This is an XL. I might have to go 2X. I'm going to actually get a 2X sent to me. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Daddy making gains. Does creatine have side effects? Yeah, you're going to feel awesome and make gains. Creatine's great. Not even owl. Papa Swole, are there some exercises where you shouldn't do full reps? What do you mean by that? So I will say, like for calves, you don't have to go all the way up on your toes because you're not really working your calves anymore. They don't have leverage. So for calves, you want to get a full stretch and get up to about neutral. So load those bad boys up. You're going to be able to do a lot of weight and you're going to make gains like you never did before with your calves. But that's focusing more on the stretch. I don't know what you mean by full reps. Like what else? Aside from that, what do you mean? Kylie, Papa Swole, have you heard of the creatine gummies? I don't know. Why do we need to eat gummies for fucking creatine? Just mix it into your orange juice or just consume it. Why do people have to eat candy to get their creatine in? Like, are they good? I don't know. I'm sure it's creatine, but I don't need to eat a gummy to eat creatine. Just take a scoop and fucking drink it. Squatch, I've read a lot of conflicting info on creatine. 5 grams a day max or overload. No, you don't need to load. 5 to 10 grams a day, depending on how big you are, is more than enough. And creatine's not magic. You're not going to take it and just build muscle. It's not like an anabolic steroid. Creatine's just fantastic for mental health, for your brain. It's great for your muscles. If I want creatine, I'm not grabbing gummies. It's easier? No, it's not. You mix it into water and you drink it. Come on. Come on. Come on, don't bullshit me. Come on. That's fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. Basil, is there a Papa Swolio supplement line anytime soon? Possibly. Possibly. It's a very saturated market. And in order to make it cost effective, not to mention the capital investment up front, it hasn't made sense yet. But it's quite possible to come. It's quite possible in the future. But I have some other things I'm working on first that I think are much more white space and a much better approach for the next product to launch. I'll put it that way. Your thoughts about the Arnold Golden 6. What's that? Mark says, still waiting for the Papa Swolio condoms. Oh, they're already out there. It'll be Papa Swolio condoms. You open the box and it's just empty. There's a little card. You open up the box, you take out the card, it just says send it. Ellie says, had to go from 5 grams of creatine to 2 grams daily. I was getting bloated and my cycle went out of whack. Weird that would happen. I don't know what the mechanism or why that makes sense for your cycle, but tweak and adjust as you need. I don't know what the mechanism would be to negatively affect that. It sounds unrelated. Just from creatine. But again, when it comes to creatine, right? Sometimes, let's say someone takes 5 grams in the morning and they don't feel good taking 5 grams, and cut it down to 2.5 and try it twice a day or take less. There's really no downside to it. Anyone that's ever said bloating, I don't know what people are feeling. I don't understand it. I don't understand what bloating. Look, I understand most people eat like crap, so they're getting bloating anyway. So maybe you have there's a lot of bad shit out there too. I can't handle eating more food. Help, please, especially when getting heavier. I need even more food. Eat more food. You can't handle eating more food. Smaller meals more frequently. There's really nothing magical about eating more food. That's the hard part. But you don't have to eat as much as you think. You don't have to be in a surplus to build muscle. You just got to slowly increase as you build more lean mass to maintain it. And you'll know this if your strength is going up, or if it starts plateauing. You're probably not eating enough food, or you're not getting enough recovery. Again, go by your performance. If your performance is flatlining, there's a reason for it. That's why you want to be consistent, because then you can adjust and tweak and but it's really good. Test your supplements, right? If you feel good with taking 2 grams, then take 2 grams. If you don't like taking 500 milligrams of magnesium before bed, try 200. Start with half. Try taking 250 after a workout and then 250 later. There's no, and with magnesium, you can handle more than you think. And most people need more magnesium than they think, but you want to like build up slowly. You don't want to just go from like 500 a day to 1.5, small increases, and see if you start having like stomach distress or diarrhea, cut it back. But most people don't stay at a certain level for a long enough period. Just play around with it. Ellie says, I switched brands of creatine as well since going to 2 grams. That could be why I've improved also. Yeah, not all brands are the same. Sometimes there's heavy metals or impurities, or maybe it's not micronized creatine, so it didn't digest well, or it did or did not have a stabilizer, something that made it, let's say blend better into the water or something, or how you drank it empty stomach. There could be a lot of reasons. But again, you're in control of this. So the more consistent you are and the more you're making small incremental improvements or tweaks, then you'll know exactly what's going on. Squatch, I prefer to work out in the morning on empty stomach, but am I in my way of gains? No, you could work out on empty stomach. Again, it's really what you're consuming overall throughout the day. So there's no like anabolic window. You just want to make sure you're getting enough protein and resources that your body can fuel up throughout the day. So if you like training on empty stomach, there's nothing wrong with it. Arnold's Golden 6 has 6 moves every other day. Google it, please. No, I won't. I don't care what Arnold's 6 moves are. What, a press and a row and a squat? Or 6 moves. I don't give a shit what Arnold does. I don't care. Yes, the anabolic window is a myth. Alex, Papa's condoms boost the pregnancy chance to 1,000%. Yeah. It doesn't, it does the opposite. It makes you more fertile. You'll just be just ropes, just shooting, just absolute frozen ropes. Weird question. I am in a wheelchair. Do I need less protein because I just can train my upper body? Probably because you have to maintain less, but it's really hard to eat too much protein. So again, you want to go based off your body weight. Again, your performance. If you're getting stronger, your upper body is getting stronger, then that's great. That's the sign. If you're not getting enough protein or enough carbs, or you're not providing a proper stimulus, or you're not sleeping properly, you will see you'll see your strength start to plateau. You won't be able to break a certain weight. You won't be able to get another rep. And then you can go back to the drawing board. Like, hey, it's been like this for a couple of weeks. I'm not making progress. Maybe I need to take an extra recovery day. Maybe I need to up my calories. Maybe you have to cross-check all these things. Most people aren't consistent, so they don't know what to check. They just, oh my God, I look in the mirror and I just feel like I'm not making progress. What gives? Well, maybe you are and you don't realize it. Muscle's built very, very slowly. And you're not going to know if you're building muscle just by looking at a scale. So most people aren't consistent, and they just throw shit at the wall and then wonder why they're not making progress. And then, hey, I'm not seeing what I want to see. What should I do? I have no idea. I have no idea what you're doing. Miss Texas Fit, is it a myth that your body can only process so much protein at a time? Yeah, as far as I'm aware, that's a myth. I've never seen anything convincing that you can only process 30 grams or 40. That's kind of nonsense. It's really total protein. It's really total overall. You don't have to only eat 20 grams 8 times a day or 10 times a day. That's insane. So it's really overall what you're consuming. And remember, it's not just in that day. It's overall like a course of like a few days. It's not like at the end of the day, all of a sudden, the next day, it's an Etch-a-Sketch. You don't have anything from the day before. Nothing from the day before matters. It's really overall. But the more consistent you are, the better it is. You don't want to be eating no protein, like 50 grams, then you're eating 400, then you're eating 10, and then you're eating 300, then you're eating 100, then you're eating 600, then you're eating 2. You're going to be much better just making sure you're focusing on protein. You're going to get full. So you're going to get full. So just make sure you're focusing on the protein first. Josue, I may be late to the news. Did you find your dog? Yeah, we found her like 6 months ago. No, the same day we found her. It was 6 hours. So it was a hell of a day, I will say, but we spammed everything and we found her. So we got her back 6 hours later. We lost her for 6 hours, but we found her. She's right here. Thanks for asking. Yeah, that was a while ago. That was like September, I think. She's still on probation. She has a record. Pinkston Churchill. Pinkston Churchill. Yeah, welcome back. All right, we went really long. That's what she said. Let's move on. We got to go into Balls Deep. Fam, if you're watching on TikTok, we're going to continue. And we're going to continue on Rumble. So come on over on Rumble, The Daily Swole, or on YouTube, The Daily Swole. So the show goes on. And of course, Spotify, Apple Podcast. Let's get into it. So thanks for watching on TikTok. Make sure you follow the channel. Check the links in the bio for all the stuff. But the podcast continues. Right now, we're going balls deep. We're going to get into some videos, and we're going to see what kind of hot mess is going around on the internet. So come on over. Peace out, Beaches. All right, TikTok was pretty good today. Really good questions, actually. I'm impressed. Great questions on TikTok. It's pretty good. Whenever it's good, it's like, should we stop it? Because it's not going to be good tomorrow. Chances are of TikTok being good with questions is pretty low. Pretty low. All right. Let's get into this. I thought this sob story was great. You see the girl? Let's go balls deep. Hold on a second. Okay. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! That's deep. All right. Did you see the girl at the track event that assaulted the other runner with the baton? Did you see this shit? And then she's crying, pretending like she's the victim. Oh my God, man. This is the most blatant assault like I've ever seen. All right, let's watch this video on the left. And she's like crying about it. Like, oh my God, I have feelings too. Well, before you cracked her with a stick, those batons are legit, right? They're metal. Or like aluminum or something. Like let's just play this.
I'm just a person by myself. Nobody's going to believe me because I can.
First off, are they going to show it here? Oh, they don't show the actual thing. I do love, listen to the audio. Just tell me what you hear.
Going to believe me because I can admit. Going to believe me because going to believe me because going to believe me because I can admit.
The smoke detector battery is beeping the background. If you know, you know. That's just, you can't make this shit up.
From the video, it does look purposeful, but I know my intentions and I would never hit somebody on purpose.
All right. I thought this was a video. I shared this one. Well, listen.
Nobody's going to believe me.
Let me let me see if I can pull up the video. I thought the one I shared had the video. So let me search. All right. Let's see. Track event baton hit. Not really a good search. Yeah. All right. All right. Let's watch this. Just, oh my God, dude. It's so obvious. So she's like, oh my God, feel bad about me. You watch this video and tell me if you watch this video. All right. Watch this video and then tell me who the victim is. That was the girl that committed the crime. This is a crime. All right. Watch this. Bam. Just fucking wrecked her. Watch this. Yeah. Bam. Bam. Oh, that's an accident. And the girl goes down. Ready? Slow motion. Ready? Oh, she bumped into me. She bumped into me. Bam. Not even close to an accident. We'll let it loop. You ready? Boom. Full swing. Like her arm goes up. Even if she was like, you know. And that's not even, look, that's not even how you run with a baton. You don't run with it like this. You're supposed to tuck it. You're supposed to tuck the baton, not like run like this. Anyway. Fucking ridiculous. What an idiot. What an absolute clown. What a clown show. Okay, let's get into some balls deep. Here we go. Drum roll. Pick a number 1, 2, 3, or 4.
What's in the box?
Yeah, spatial. I'm not even a fucking track athlete, but I'm looking at this. They're just running and flailing their arms. Terrible form. The fuck? All right, pick a number 1, 2, 3, or 4. Someone asked me about Dylan Mulvaney. I saw something about, I don't know the details, but there's a Dylan Mulvaney thing here. And this looks like what I saw. So I haven't watched it yet, but I guess Dylan Mulvaney still exists. I can't believe we're still playing this woman grift. This is very impressive, the dedication to this mental asylum. We're going to do Women's Day first. Number 4, Pam number 4. All right, we're going to do the Dylan Mulvaney thing first.
What's in the box?
International Women's Day, which is a thing for why?
Don't laugh at me, but maybe we should be...
Is this a good time?
Jeez. No, it's not.
Happy International Women's Day. Guys to have fun with. Wow. That sounds like
Jill was my prop master in the Book of Mormon, and I just started crying because I was so happy to see her. I love you.
Are there any women here today?
Oh. All right, well, there's that. Thought we left that a couple years ago, but I guess not. The retardation continues. Notice it's all white liberal women. It's all it is. It's all it is. Yeah. So long live the patriarchy. Long live logic and common sense. This is women are to blame for this. This is women. This is liberal white women. So All you liberal white women out there, get your shit together. That's all it is. It's not men. Men aren't accepting of this. Most men want to bang women, so they'll just kind of go along with stuff. And this kind of stuff permeates because a lot of good people and good men, or I should say lack thereof, they don't speak up and call this stuff retarded as they should. I mean, some of us always have been, but it's women. So women are going to pretend like, we want women's rights. And you are literally facilitating a man, co-opting and eradicating women and what a woman is supposed to be. So, yeah, you have the blind and the weak leading the blind and the weak. Gross. All right, this one's called Being Curvy and Dating.
What's in the box?
When talking about being curvy and dating, you need to absolutely...
Curvy. Now, there's another word for curvy. I can't think of it. What's a good word for curvy? What's a good word? Oh, fat. Fat. That's right. That's right. That's right. We co-opted the term. We called curvy fat. Fat or curvy is a term used for fat people and fat women to feel better about their fatness. We'll call it curvy. Yeah. Yeah. I guess your fat rolls are curves, I suppose. Let's continue.
When talking about being curvy and dating,
fat.
You need to absolutely love yourself before you can expect someone to love you. You can't.
You have to delude yourself enough and then demand that other people delude themselves too. That's what she's saying.
Wait for someone to find you attractive. You need to be like, yeah, I'm curvy, and you need to own it. Don't hide yourself. If you walk around and you are like, yeah, I'm curvy and I'm sexy and I'm hot and I'm...
Okay. So again, you're probably not. So in other words, you have a lot of 4s and 5s out there acting like they're the cream of the crop, and they don't get the return on that investment. They don't get people responding. So then men are evil. Men are the enemy. Men don't understand. I hate men. I mean, nah. You're not all that, girl. You're not all that. Okay? You're not what you think you are. You can make yourself believe whatever you want, but dudes know if you're, quote, curvy, you're the one they're eyeballing at 2 or 3 in the morning at closing time. Let's put it that way.
Smart and I'm funny. People will perceive you that way.
That's... Just play it again.
Sexy and I'm hot and you are like, yeah, I'm curvy and I'm sexy and I'm hot and I'm smart and I'm funny.
If I'm hot and I'm sexy and I'm funny. This is the description of a personality type that no one finds attractive. It's one thing if a girl is like a 9 or a 10 and she's confident because she has a right to be, or, okay, I guess. I mean, people don't like that kind of cocky attitude anyway, but at least have something to back it up. If you're just telling yourself this and, oh my God, then you are. I don't think she understands how this works, like life. You could tell yourself everything you want. It's just not true. The same way that Dylan Mulvaney can say, I'm a woman, and that's a man, baby.
Yeah, I'm curvy and I'm sexy and I'm hot and I'm smart and I'm funny. People will perceive you that way.
Nope.
Of course, there are going to be men who are shallow.
Oh, that's right. You said it. She said it.
Never lie.
She said it. She said it. She said it. That's right. But the men are the ones that are shallow. Sure, there's going to be men that are shallow. Yeah, AKA the ones that aren't buying your bullshit. Just because you think you're hot and you're funny, a lot of dudes are going to be like, nope. But they're shallow. They're the shallow ones. You're the one that's just blowing up your own ego and wondering why everyone else won't play Tea Party with you. Land of make-believe.
Smart and I'm funny. people will perceive you that way.
Nope.
Of course, there are going to be men who are shallow, but overall, your dating experience is going to be so much better.
Yeah. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see how many. Let's come back. Let's do a cat check. Let's do a cat check on that. We'll come back in a few years. Let's bookmark that. Let's bookmark it and come back in a few years and we'll do a cat assessment. See how many cats she's got. All right. Toxoplasmosis is real. Oh, this is going to hurt. We'll do this one first. Bug. This is painful, but then we'll, I don't even know if we're going to make it through the whole thing. But the next one is something else.
Hey there. Do you mind if I sit next to you? Great. I guess I haven't properly introduced myself. My name is Bug. What's yours? Sarah. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't sit with normies most of the time. Well, let's just see if we have some things in common. Do you listen to Cave Town? You don't? Maybe you watch Dream? No. What do? You do makeup? That's so cool, me too. I could put some blush on you if you'd like. You're already wearing blush. Not enough. Well, it's been nice sitting with you. Maybe you can sit with me and Slug at lunch. Before you go, I didn't get your pronouns. Oh, she, her? Okay. Well, I am he, him, they, air, bark, frog, self, and fan. Alright. Catch you on the flip, Sarah.
Fuck! All right, let's do this one. This one's called Not a Crime. Oh God, that must be what this is. Not a crime. That's right. Is this the one where she says that crossing the border illegally is not illegal? Oh, this woman is so fucking retarded. Who the hell voted for this ghetto ass bitch? She's such an idiot. Is that this quote? This might be the clip. I didn't put this in the folder, but I saw this anyway.
It is not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally.
Jesus Christ. Can you say something stupider than this twat? Can you say something more retarded in 4 seconds? I challenge you. Maybe I could. I'm a woman. So I would win. That's like under a second. I'll play it again.
It is not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally. It is not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally. It is not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally. It is not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally.
All right, there's 20 more seconds. So let's play this through, but you can't come back from that. This, what else needs to be said? Oh, man.
It is not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally. It's not a criminal. It's a crime. It's not a crime, which is why they're so frustrated, because they really want our local law enforcement to go out and round up people when they could be looking out for the murderers and the sexual abusers as well as the robbers. They want them to go and round people up on civil accusations. And so that it is not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally. It is not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally. It is not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally. It's
pretty sure it is. Pretty sure it is. Pretty sure it is. It is not a crime to commit a crime. Pretty sure it is. Pretty sure it is. Throwback time. All right, let's do this one. It's probably frightening.
Gender neutral parenting and genderless parenting is that one is completely neutral and the other is not.
You're so stupid!
From my understanding, gender neutral parenting is just using they them pronouns, using neutral clothing.
Go fuck yourself, dude.
For my youngest, we use all pronouns, including neo-pronouns, because we want them to feel each pronoun and see what makes them most comfortable.
No, don't.
Oh, please, God, no!
Don't ruin the child.
Gender neutral parenting is basically making a non-binary baby, and that's not the goal with the genderless parenting.
You're insane.
Hey, Wesley.
Yeah.
Are you a boy or a girl?
A boy and a girl.
What are your pronouns?
Him and she.
How do you know?
Because you told me.
That's how I feel.
Bullshit!
Jesus Christ. Those poor kids. Okay. Let's give away today's Swole card. Thanks for being here, fam. This is absolute child abuse, and it's frightening. It's horrific. Hashtag insane gains for a chance to win today's Swole card. There's nothing else to say on today's episode. That just went. That was the last run of the day. Sun's going down. That's enough. Let's go to the lodge. Time to get some hot cocoa. We're done. Scroll. All right, we got a winner today. LET 1, 2, 3. I like how it rhymes. Congratulations. All right, ET. We call you ET. All right, congratulations. Send us an email to audience abuse. support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 3231, the subject. Very nice. Thanks for being here. We went long today. That's what she said. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. You're welcome, Ellie. Congratulations. Thanks for being here. Appreciate all the support and the comments and the hashtag. So we'll send you that Swole card. Thanks for being here, Beach. Is back tomorrow, probably a little bit earlier tomorrow. Man, the time change really just fucks shit up, huh? Savings time bullshit. But go enjoy that sunlight. Go enjoy making some gains today. Appreciate you. And we'll see you tomorrow for 3232. That's a nice number. We'll see you then. Peace McGeese. Deuce Magoose. Ya boy. Papa Swolio. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock's crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like...
Then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits.